The rear of the car under brakes. He's trying to cross over off the exit of turn number one.
Contact.
There was contact. And Richie Stanaway looked to go down the inside. Can he get to the line in third? Sideways under brakes as well in the middle. So Andrew Wade out of the final corner. Victory in the Toyota Racing Series. The Schumacher
2010 saw a major change for TRS, with the series now run over 5 weekends across New Zealand in January and February. While the numbers weren't large, the quality of the field was undeniable. The battle for the championship came down to future Kiwi superstars Mitch Evans and Earl Bamber, going head-to-head with Estonian Sten Pentas.
This is the checkered flag right.
The year began strongly for Evans at Taratonga, but a race-long battle with Bamber at Timaru ended in disaster.
Oh, he's made a big mistake, a big off for Evans, and fires into the fence. Well, he had to go on the last lap, and there is a disconsolate Mitch Evans.
Bamber finished the season with a flourish, taking 4 wins at the final 2 rounds, including the New Zealand Grand Prix.
He adds his name to the New Zealand Grand Prix victory list.
But it wasn't enough to deny Evans the title, winning by a mere 3 points.
Series, Bamber with the victory, Webling second, and Mitch Evans, he knows it, he's done it, and wins the Toyota Racing
By
Series.
2011, the new TRS model proved its value as European teams began sending drivers to New Zealand for the intense 5 weeks of racing. Young Russian drivers, supported by Red Bull, had an immediate impact. Daniel Gaunt proved himself with podium finishes in the early rounds, and then went to Manfeild and scored victory in the Dan Higgins Memorial Trophy. Also creating waves in the series was young Aucklander Nick Cassidy. But despite the depth of talent in the field, Evans was again too good, claiming the title for a second time.
You know, this year we've nailed it, and yes, it's fantastic.
The 2012 season opened at Taratonga, with Josh Hill taking the win. For the son of Formula One world champion Damon, it was a significant win in a country where his grandfather Graham had raced, twice winning the New Zealand Grand Prix. But this was Nick Cassidy's year. While he was challenged by various drivers, Cassidy was clearly the class of the field. That being said, he didn't have it all his own way. The final round at Manfeild saw Mitch Evans return in an attempt to win another Grand Prix title. But in race number 150, Felix Sorellis stunned the Kiwis to claim the victory.
Now he sees a checkered flag for the first.
But that race would also see Nick Cassidy crowned TRS champion.
I crossed the finish line, and then only when I got to the first corner I realised I won the championship. That's a pretty big deal.
Later that afternoon, Cassidy was joined on the front row by Evans for the Grand Prix. Evans seemed to have the race in the bag as Cassidy fought off challenge after challenge from Dutchman Van Asseldam.
Brilliant driving from Cassidy, holds the line.
But disaster for Evans. With just 3 laps to run, he was sidelined, and Cassidy held on for a brilliant New Zealand Grand Prix victory.
What on earth happened?
Decides to head towards the loop, an inch closer. Up to idea from... At the 2013 season opening, a frightening crash for Alex Lynn of Great Britain would prove beyond doubt the incredible strength of the Tatas FT40, even after 8 years of competition.
Sorellis and Alex Lynn, and debris everywhere, but look at that, that's great.
Cassidy again showed his credentials in 2013, beating a number of future international stars to claim another championship and the New Zealand Grand Prix.
Back-to-back titles and back-to-back New Zealand Grand Prix. That's...
Yeah, it's unbelievable. 2 years in a row. It's pretty big.
2014 would see a large number of rookies, including Kiwi James Munro and Gran Turismo Academy graduate Jan Mardenborough of Britain. The season would see the debut of a brand new circuit, Highlands Motorsport Park. Race 175 held at Highlands would also see Mardenborough showcase his graduation from gamer to racer and put himself right in contention for the overall title.
Versatile racing driver.
Singaporean Andrew Tang proved his closest challenger, and after a tight season, it went down to the wire at the final round.
Well, again, Mardenborough does it as he's done.
Cassidy returned to TRS and claimed his 3rd Grand Prix win, while Tang followed Mardenborough home, the result giving him the title by just 4 points.
Thank you. It's such a great feeling, you know. The team has done a great job all series, and I'm just so happy. I'm glad my family is here.
In 2015, the Toyota Racing Series celebrated 10 years with the debut of the all-new Tatus FT50. The field included plenty of future stars: GP2 driver Artem Markelov of Russia, future F1 driver Nikita Mazepin, talented young Indian driver Arjun Maini, and the USA Santino Ferrucci, considered by many to be America's next big hope. But at the first round, they were all headed by a young Canadian named Lance Stroll.
Comes across the line and takes the checkered flag here.
He and teammate Brandon Maizano were the drivers to watch in the first round, but come Terratonga, locals Jamie Conroy and Brendan Leach scored a win apiece.
Brendan Leach, without a doubt, comes of age.
But Stroll was quietly collecting podiums and points, while fierce racing amongst his rivals was taking a toll on their challenges.
And then comes back and oh no! Markelov, up and over goes the Russian.
At Manfeild, Stroll would clinch the title and finish the season as the New Zealand Grand Prix winner.
His first major international victory. His father, as you can imagine, is absolutely delighted.
It's a great feeling. I mean, any championship you win, it always feels great.
If 2015 was star-studded, then 2016 went up another notch with the arrival of teenage sensation Lando Norris of the UK, already being touted as the next Lewis Hamilton. Taking him on from Austria, Ferdinand Habsburg, from India, Jahan Jaruvala, from China, Guan Yu Zhou, and from Brazil, Pedro Piquet, the youngest son of F1 world champion Nelson. The opening round would host race 200, and the wet conditions would help create the most bizarre race in the history of TRS, with the winner coming from 50 on the grid.
Most teams pitted under a safety car for a change to wets, but Norris stayed out in the lead. However, he slid off at the restart. Chasing back, and he's got off! Yep, it had to be! He goes across the grass. That allowed Indian driver Jahan Daruvala to take up the lead before the race was finally red flag. Jahan Daruvala wins.
Norris proved to be everything that his young reputation had promised, dominating the series and claiming 3 of the 5 feature races, including the 2016 New Zealand Grand Prix.
I didn't have anything to lose, so I got to just relax and do what I do, and obviously it all paid off in the end.
While Brendan Leach had been the sole Kiwi race winner in 2016, 2017 saw the arrival of Marcus Armstrong.
Crosses the line and wins at Hampton Downs.
Having raced in Italy, Armstrong was a strong contender, but his season was spoiled by some non-finishes.
Oh, Armstrong again involved!
Instead, it was Australian F4 champion Thomas Randall, who was Mr. Consistent and took the title despite only 1 race win. The 2018 season began strongly for Armstrong and fellow returnee Richard Verschoor of the Netherlands.
He's back to victory lane.
These two drivers would battle all season long.
And the pole man has to settle the second. The New Zealand Motor Cup.
But rookie Russian driver Robert Schwartzman was taking consistent podiums. Going into the last race, all 3 drivers could win the championship.
Away they go.
Verschoor dived inside Armstrong to take the lead.
Go for it. Locks up completely. Verschoor tries to make the move. Does he do it? Yes.
Second would be enough for the Kiwi. However, the last lap restart would spell disaster for Armstrong.
Here we go for the restart of the 63rd Grand Prix. Away goes Verschoor. Oh no! Armstrong's going backwards. Schwartzman's going to cross the line in second and take the title. Verschoor takes the checkered flag.
So basically when I finish, I just hear a massive, loudly shout from the team and the radio that we won the championship, and I was super happy. It's incredible.
Believe it.
Look, to lose it like that sucks. I'm gutted, but that's how it goes.
2019 would mark 15 seasons of TRS.
He really has laid down the gauntlet.
Armstrong was back, now as a Ferrari F1 Academy driver and favourite to take the title. He was joined by rising star Liam Lawson, also of New Zealand, and it didn't take long for him to make his mark.
Starting to attack Armstrong. And Lawson's got to be careful here. He could be hung out to dry as Armstrong's just ahead, but Lawson keeps his foot in. They're side by side. Lawson trying desperately to get through, and somehow he makes the pass. Brilliant racing.
Along with Brendan Leach, these 2 drivers would produce the best Kiwi race results since Mitch Evans' dominant 2011 season.
Slides out, almost loses it. Big moment.
Hampton Downs would be the venue for the 250th race of TRS. The pair shared the silverware following the 2 frenetic opening races. But the 250th race would spell disaster for Lawson.
Side by side, and they touch, and out goes Lawson. Lawson is out, and there's damage to the rear of that car. Look at it from Lucas Hour. Oh, he just
After a
gets a bit of
drama-filled
snap
race,
oversteer.
Marcus Armstrong finally put his name on the historic New Zealand Motor Cup and took the lead in the championship.
Marcus puts down a marker.
It couldn't have been closer. Both drivers had suffered bad luck and both had equal chance of taking the championship going into the final race. The winner takes all New Zealand Grand Prix between the two Kiwis.
Lawson trying to win the Grand Prix and the championship and gets a blind of Armstrong brilliantly into the lead for now. Lawson coming back at him but has to settle for second place. But Armstrong runs out of road and through goes Lawson into the lead again. But Armstrong looking for the lead now as he comes to the outside. He's got Lawson. They're side by side into Toyota, heading towards Splash. These two do not know when to give in, and Armstrong gets through. Or does he? Oh, and off goes Lawson. Off goes Lawson into the grass. Lawson, and they'll have to look at that. So tight between them, and if that investigation goes through, he'll lose some time. But look at Lawson! Lawson's gone from 4th to 2nd. The 5-second penalty for Armstrong has been given. Armstrong crosses the line, but he's got that penalty. No way from him. Dejected, but pure ecstasy for Liam Lawson.
I was really nervous going into that race. You know, like I said many times, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and to win my first season, it's really, really special.
Liam Lawson's success also secured his future. TRS's newest star signed a Red Bull Junior contract on his birthday, taking him to the FIA Formula 3 in 2019.